All right, welcome back, and I'm sure you had a good laugh with that one. If you just joined us, this is Silverbird today, and I told you I have another very special guest joining me in the studio. This time we're talking about stand-up comedy, you know, the idea of talent hunting and generally unearthing laughter gold. With me in the studio this morning is Ekene Smith Adigu, also known as Ekene Smith CFR. Good,
Good morning.
good morning, good to have you in the studio.
Good to have you, sir.
So I know of an Emeka Smith
Yeah.
and Ekene Smith, you
Yeah.
know, so at first there was a bit of a confusion there. Can you?
Okay. I'm the younger brother to Ekene Smith.
Oh, okay. So comedy runs in your family
It
then?
runs in the family. You can say that.
Okay, all right, good to have you in the studio.
Yeah,
But generally though, walk me through your journey
Okay.
as a comedian. I
Okay.
know that, of course, we know your brother, and
yeah.
then, yeah.
Okay. My name is Ekene Smith Adigu. I'm a professional stand-up comedian. I'm an actor. I'm an OAP, and I'm also a content creator. And my journey actually started back then in 2010 when I was opportune to win the comedy competition, and I won a generator set.
Okay.
At that time.
A whole generator.
Yeah, a generator, a big generator set. That was in 2010. That actually kick-started. It was like a motivation. Although before then, I have always been behind the scene, working with my elder brother as his personal assistant.
Okay.
He never wanted me to do comedy at some point because he wanted me to go to school and graduate, finally, maybe get a white-collar job and the rest.
Yeah.
But along the line, I actually picked interest in comedy. After working with him for a while, I had the opportunity to relate with so many comedians, established, upcoming. I was like the middleman between.
You're the connecting guy.
I was the connecting guy. So I had so much opportunity. At some point, I started having this ability to create jokes. I'll create jokes. I'll tell him, boss, brother, how do you see these jokes? He will say, are you sure you don't? Are you sure you don't want to take over this job for me and everything? So along the line, it was just like it was more like a joke when he noticed. I never told him I was going for a competition.
Okay.
And I went for the competition and I won the competition. And he was like, wow, so this is looking real. You actually won a competition. The competition was held in Ikeja then.
Yeah.
It was like a talent discovery in the whole of Ikeja and Oregu. We had close to like 20 comedians. And he was like, so for you to have gone and won, I think there's a potential in all these things you have been saying. So he started encouraging me. When I got into school, I graduated from Delta State University. I started gradually saying campus shows, departmental programs, and then I started building my confidence. And so from there, my journey started.
Fantastic.
And today I'm happy with what I do.
I like that. So I know before you even came into the studio, I asked you, I said, can anybody be a comedian? Is this something that, you know, something like a regular layman can do?
Okay, I'll say this. I'll say there are some people that are naturally comedians, and there are some that actually learns the act of comedy.
Okay.
So even if you're not a natural comedian, you can actually learn the act through mentorship.
Okay, well, I like that, through mentorship.
Through mentorship.
Okay, but speaking about your style of comedy, though,
Yeah.
what kind of comedian would you say you are?
Okay, I would say I'm a societal comedian. I try to crack my jokes. I try to find materials. Along what is actually happening, along happenings, recent happenings. I try to get my joke through spontaneity.
Okay.
Yeah, I try to create jokes with the way of life, how people see life, people's experience. That's how I try to create. So I'm more like a family-friendly comedian.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So do all comedians have to be MCs at the same time, or is it like two different jobs entirely?
That's a big one, but not all comedians are MCs.
Okay.
A comedian might have the ability to make people laugh, but he might not have the ability to carry on with an event.
Yeah.
So not all comedians are MCs.
Okay.
A comedian can have the ability to engage the audience, but I feel you should be able to define the strength of the comedian. So if he's just a naturally funny person, you can pay him alongside someone that is.
That's
'cause
also, yeah.
That's an MC. Because
Okay.
not all MCs are comedians.
Mm.
Yeah, no MCs are comedians.
Okay, so let's talk about how competitive, the
Yeah.
comedy industry is today. We see, I mean, all the big guys,
Yeah.
we see the up-and-coming talents as well.
Mm.
But generally, how does someone trying to find his feet in comedy navigate his way through all the, the huge structures that's been put in place by these comedians? Because we're seeing Night of 1,000 Laughs,
Yeah.
we're seeing this, we're seeing that, So, I mean, how do comedians manage to,
It's-
with all the competition?
It's really a big competition, notwithstanding even the help of social media now, because with the help of social media, a lot of comedians have been discovered. They do these ones, they don't even need the platforms anymore. They are already creating the platforms themselves with their phones and engaging their content, sharing, people are sharing, they're famous.
Yeah.
So I'll give credit to the likes of Alibaba, that started with the Alibaba Spontaneity, that has really helped the industry so much in discovering a whole lot of new comedians. I'll give credit to AY. AY has also done a whole lot with his open mic night competition, which has also discovered so many talents. So, and if you look at the industry basically, and we'll notice that platform is lacking. Platform is really, really lacking. Aside the likes of AY, Alibaba with the Spontaneity,
There's not really a lot
there's
of
not
comedians,
really
yes,
a lot
setting
of
up structures.
structure for the. Okay, we can just say Lagos. Lagos is like a home of entertainment.
Yeah.
Aside Lagos, that we can have this Alibaba Spontaneity.
And then in Warri, maybe.
in Warri, made in Warri.
Yeah.
Then, if you look at other states, we have talents.
But there's no platform.
There is no platform.
So just because of our time, really, I
Okay.
wanted you to highlight for me
Okay.
tips for upcoming comedians,
Okay.
and at the same time, how to find your voice as a growing comedian. I know that you write jokes,
Okay.
you
Yeah,
also
I write
perform
jokes,
stand-up,
yeah,
you do
yeah.
MC, and also talk about your shows. I mean,
Okay.
talk about the current ones and the previous ones that you've done, all in one.
Okay. Tips. Let me start with the tips for upcoming comedian. Okay, one, you have to be spontaneous.
Okay.
You have to be confident. You have to have the confidence. Then you have to have the delivery. Then you have to be creative.
Okay.
Spontaneous, confidence, delivery.
Yeah.
Then you have to be creative.
Okay.
Then the second question.
I talked
is
about your shows.
my show. Okay, my show is like a beautiful platform. There are some comedians that just after performing themselves, like they after their own craft, go to stage, perform, get the bookings. But I'm this kind of a comedian. I'm this kind of a brand that also want to see a way of affecting in my own little way.
Okay.
In as much as I'm getting the bookings, I'm getting the sponsorship, and I still want to see how I can also help others. I have a foundation, which is Positive Youth Foundation.
Okay.
The foundation is focused on talent discovery, youth empowerment, personal development among youth, and we're having the first maiden edition of our talent discovery program in Agor Palace, because I grew up in Agor.
Okay.
In Agor Palace, and I decided to say, okay,
Let me help back the community.
let me start up from where I grew up from. I knew there's a whole lot of rich talents in Agor. That was why I had to partner with a lounge. I partnered with a lounge for this maiden edition, which is Flex Restaurants and Lounge in Agor. So
the event is all about
Okay.
discovering new talent.
yes,
And also you're going to be performing.
I'm also going to be performing.
When is this event happening?
The event is November 10th.
November 10th.
November 10th. That's next week Friday, 6 p.m.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I wish you had more time to,
Yeah.
talk deeper into the world of comedy, because I'm hoping to be a comedian at some point in time. But it's all good. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you.
Just before I let you leave, though, how
Okay.
can we find you on social media?
Okay, you can find me on social media on my Instagram handle at Ekene Smith _CFR, at Ekene Smith _CFR, on Facebook Ekene Smith Adigu, on YouTube Ekene Smith.
Yes, and also I'm guessing
On
that the
Twitter,
people out
Ekene
there,
Smith.
I'm guessing the guys out there watching the show can also be a part of register when they contact you.
Yes, they can.
on
They can
social
also
media.
be a part. You can follow the foundation, Positive Youth Foundation, on Instagram.
Okay.
You can follow. Just drop a brief biography of what you do. Comedian, you like to participate. It's free. It's
All right.
free.
Well,
It's
thank
free
you so
for
much,
all.
Ekene.
Yeah, thank you
Pleasure
so much.
having you in the studio, and I
Pleasure.
look forward to seeing you at the event.
Yeah, I look forward to see you. So maybe you could kickstart your comedy career.
Possibly, possibly.
Yeah.
All right, guys, stay with us. There's more to come. We have one more guest. If you love music, you love good sounds, well, you're going to be thrilled with our next guest. Stay with us. This is Silverbird Today.